In this video, I'd like to show the basics of Maestro when you first open it, how to change some settings, search PMC, and import AutoCAD files. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you open up Maestro is this is what it should look like. You're going to go to File, Control Panel, and you should see this screen here. You want to make sure under General that your preview prices is checked. That's going to give you the prices up in the upper right hand corner. If it's not checked, it's just going to show calculating. So if you are showing a model to a customer, you want to make sure that's unchecked. Otherwise, keep it checked. Under region, you want to make sure it's in English and your distance is in feet and inches. That's going to give you the proper units when you're exporting drawings. So first thing that we're going to take a look at is customizing this ribbon. So if you notice here, there's pre-loaded items. If you're not interested in seeing all these things, you can come up to this tab here and go to Edit Work Modes. You want to copy the Show All, name it whatever you like. You can click on Use Custom Tabs, and you can go ahead and select and unselect items that you want to see or don't want to see. After you do that, if you want to go back to looking at them all, you can go ahead and hit Design Show All. From there, we can go ahead and we can start and import an AutoCAD file. So to import an AutoCAD file, you're going to click on File, Import Export, Import File, and go ahead and select your AutoCAD file. You should get a dialog box that looks like this, and we're always going to start with the scale at 1:1. Go ahead and hit OK. AutoCAD files will always load up in 2D view, so you're going to have to go to 2D view to see it, up here in the corner. And this is our AutoCAD drawing. Now we're going to check the scale. We're going to go ahead and click the little dimension tool. This is 24-inch wide conveyor, and it's coming in at 30.25. So we know that the scale is a little bit off. So we're going to head, we're going to click on the drawing. We're going to click the three dots here next to settings. We're going to change our scale to 0.8 and hit OK. And we're going to go ahead and recheck our width. Now it's coming in at about 24.2, which is close enough for me. And that's how you can go ahead and you can insert AutoCAD drawings. So customer sends you an AutoCAD drawing, you go ahead and look at it directly in Maestro. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look at PMC. So under the Collaboration tab, which is the green and orange box, we're going to go ahead and click Collaboration Manager. Under Settings, you're going to want to make sure Dematic PDM is selected and not Mounted Disk Server, which is your hard drive. You cannot create repositories, so don't worry about that one. And you're going to take a look at Create a Workspace. So from here is where you could enter in your project number directly, or if you don't know your project number, you can search for key items. Like let's say you're working on an Amazon and you know the site code is ONT5, right? You can type that in and go ahead and search. And you can notice that two pop up, one with a Q and one without a Q. Mostly every business services project is in a non-Q project. So typically always search the non-Q projects first. The queue automatically gets generated when we enter these projects into Salesforce or into PMC. It always creates these two. Customer service, we typically use the queue version for quoting purposes. That way we don't change anything in the base version. If you don't know the site code, you can also just search keywords. Like for example, Amazon. And what this is going to do is it's going to search our database. And here you go, all the Amazons. Now once you find one you're looking for, you click on it, you click Add to Workspace, and that's going to bring it into your workspace. So I've already preloaded one here, so you're going to click on it after it comes to my workspace and hit the folder to open it up. And this is going to give us a dialog box. And what you see here is a dialog box that shows everything that was in this Amazon project. Now, we don't need to load all this stuff in just to see what we're looking for. Let's say the customer has requested we change something in the receiving area. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type in receiving and hit enter. and you can see just receiving items show up. C, anything that starts with a C is controls, and anything that starts with an M is mechanical. So let's say for this particular project, they wanted us to take a look at their receiving merge. You always want to load everything into view only. Even if you're going to make changes, you can load it into edit afterwards, but you always want to start with view only because at this point we're just taking a look at stuff. So we're going to go ahead, click on what we want to see, click on load in view only. And this is going to go ahead and this is going to load in the items that we need. This is just telling us that there has been something when they modeled this that was stored locally on somebody's computer. Looks like it's just stairs, so there's no big deal. Just go ahead and click no. And we can go ahead and we can close out of our dialog box. Click on 3D mode and zoom into objects. Now if you notice, Amazons typically always have a building shell with them. And we don't really want to see that for this particular project. So over here on the left hand side, we can go ahead and click the eye to hide that. And we have our area of interest. From here, some of the important things that we would like to see is under the Dematic tab, we can click on Project Settings, and we can see the project team who modeled this stuff up. We can look at the area settings, which sometimes will tell us package sizes, materials to be handled. You can click on the conveyor itself, and it'll give you the properties of the conveyor, speeds, motor power. If you notice on the top right, that's where our cost is. You can click on that guy, and it'll give you the cost breakdown for everything that we're seeing here. You can also take a look at the BOM over here on the left-hand side. You can click on BOM, and this is all the stuff that is making up this model. And when you click on them, you can either, if you expand it with the plus sign, you can look at sub-assemblies. You can pull part numbers for individual pieces, such as motors or shafts, assembly, stuff like that. If you click on properties, you kind of get an Elm type report here, which shows all the units and some of the details that comes with it. So now let's say that, okay, this is our area of interest, and now I want to take a look at just the composite layout. Okay, so to do that, you're going to want to go back to your collaboration dialog. And under papers, you can go ahead and we're going to look at release drawings. Click the down arrow, expand this, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to take a look at a composite. And let's just select one. We'll select this guy. And you're going to go ahead and just click View PDF. And what this is going to do is this is going to open up the composite drawing directly into Adobe PDF that we can go ahead and look at. And you can see the project team is down here, automatically gets generated from those project settings. Very similar to the sections, you can go ahead and you can search for specific items as well. So if we just go back to the top level, you can go ahead and see if anything shows up under receiving, for example. Now if nothing shows up, that means there's no release drawings. But if you also had a drawing number, you can go ahead and search a drawing number. Once you're done with this, you can either click this and remove it, which will then remove it from the project. Or let's say you have this receiving area, but you want to take a look at another part of the receiving area, but you don't want to remove the merge. So you can come into here, search receiving again, and let's say, okay, well, I want to see the platform now that goes with this. So you go ahead and you can load that into view only, and it'll just add it on top of what we already have. And if you go back to your collaboration tab, you can go and see where it added it in. So that's all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope it was helpful. And in the next video, we'll go more in depth with making drawings and drawing some conveyor in.